Here with Justin Ruiz at the NCAA tournament, Utah Valley University, where you're one of the coaches. And talk a little bit about your team this year. They've shown great progress within the national scene in wrestling.
Yeah, we got a great group of guys. They're working hard, fairly young. We don't lose a whole lot of guys this year. We got, as far as for the starters, Josh Wilson, he's a senior this year, but we're hoping to be able to get a medical red shirt, get him back next year. So we're fairly young. They're all pretty positive, hard-working guys, and we were able to get 3 qualified for the tournament. Had some good dual meet wins during the year, so we're hoping just to keep improving.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about the conference, Western Wrestling Conference. It seems like all the teams in the conference are getting better, and you guys are pushing each other real hard.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some talent in the Western Wrestling Conference. Everybody, the coaching staff has done a great job. Some of the other schools, Wyoming, North Dakota State, Air Force, Bono's in there, South Dakota State. I'm sure he's going to help that program grow. We got a lot of talent, Utah Valley. So I think the conference as a whole is going to get better and better. Northern Colorado, they got some tough kids too just this year. Not being able to do any postseason stuff. They'll be back next year, and so it should be. Everybody's just going to be pushing each other and just keep getting better and better.
Talk a little bit what it takes for a kid from Utah Valley to go an All-American here. You guys are putting them in a pretty tough schedule. Are you guys feel confident that they can beat an Iowa kid, or they can beat a guy from the EIWA or all over the country? Yeah,
definitely. I think we got kids that are talented, just like other kids across the country are talented. We work hard, everybody else works hard. But we try to set up our schedule to get some of those bigger matches. We were over at the Wolfpack Open in North Carolina earlier this year.
Right.
Made it out to Midlands. And then some of our dual meets and stuff, able to wrestle some tough kids. So, yeah, we have a competitive schedule, so our guys can get a taste of some of the best kids in the country and realize, hey, you guys can be right there. You just keep working hard and believe in yourself, and that effort will pay off. And hopefully, especially this week at the NCAA tournament.
You enjoy the coaching aspect? All those years you competed, is that something that you've enjoyed being involved in as a career?
Yeah, I really love coaching. It's a lot of fun. It's a little different, I empathize a little more with coaches now that I am one, some of the challenges that they had to face being on the other side of it. But yeah, I like coaching, being able to make a difference, being able to share what I worked hard to learn, and try to pass it on to a new generation that can go on and do great things, and hopefully represent our country well in the future.
Let's talk about international wrestling. So you spent a long time in your life traveling the world, competing in Greco-Roman, going to world championships, trying out for Olympic teams. Obviously a very important part of your life, but you've also been able to experience what happens around the world in wrestling. And obviously we're fighting now for our spot in the Olympic Games, and just your thoughts on why wrestling is such a great sport, not only individually for people, but also in the context of the whole world.
Well, I think wrestling is very important because you learn so many things when you're wrestling. And sometimes you don't realize how much those lessons that you learn in wrestling carry over until you might be outside of it or in another environment. One thing about wrestlers is, we'll outwork anybody. Regardless of the industry, wrestlers will work and put their head down and work and do whatever they need to be successful. It's just one of those things, like you have all these kids that when they start out wrestling, and that's their dream, is an Olympic dream, and so it keeps them focused, keeps them out of the streets, keeps them from other type of stuff that can get them in trouble. So I think our sport needs wrestling in the Olympics we've made so much progress, and we got so much talent in the United States. And it would be a shame if all those kids now too, we got those younger kids that train and want to be Olympic champs. It'd be tough just to cut them off. And even the guys that are right in it, still competitive age, guys that are just out of college that want to wrestle for another cycle or two.
Yeah.
But as a whole, wrestling is something we definitely need to hold on to, and I think society and humanity is better because of the sport.
And you've been to places where wrestling's real popular, and it's part of their cultures, and some people don't ever get to experience that. As an American traveling overseas, what did you learn about how the sport impacts the world?
Well, you go to some places and it's totally different. Like you go to Azerbaijan, for the World Championships, and there was the stadium is full and there's like lines of people out the door, you know, or you see like in Cuba, you know, I talked to this guy who's like, hey, you know, I saw you on TV. Yeah, you're from U.S. and you wrestle so and so on, and it's interesting how much they pay attention to wrestling and other, you know, Olympic sports that are going on. So I mean, you go overseas and it's definitely an eye opener, and you know, it would be nice if we could get, I guess, that kind of you know, general exposure for the rest of the country. Because obviously wrestling fans, they know where to go, they know where to find the matches and the action and everything. But it'd be nice if we could draw in more people that maybe haven't been able to participate in the sport, but just are fans and just love watching two guys get after it.
Outstanding. Well, hey, thanks for your time, man, and we'll be watching you and the team the next few days.
Thanks, Gary.